Well, it is here, the Spike Buffy audiobook. I want to be clear, Buffy is not a big part of this story. This is mainly a Spike-centric story, but it is in the Buffy universe, and apparently takes 10 years after season 7. So I assume this is 2012, 2013. It's a little fuzzy, and essentially the story is Spike is going to help two people mainly. A young new potential, Indira, as well as Cordelia. But this Cordelia is from an alternate reality, and she's, quote, the Buffy of her world. And we also have some classic people like Giles, Drusilla, Jonathan, Anya, Tara, and Clem, although it's unclear if they're from our world or the Cordelia world. Clem definitely seems from our world because I listened to an audio sample. So that's clear, and the other people who appear are a little weird. So what about the audiobook itself? I want to stress I've not heard it beyond the sample. And I'm not going to review the sample because the sample was, I'm going to be blunt, not great. It was not a great sample. And if that is representative, so yeah, this is rough. Now on the Amazon site, and I don't think this is a conspiracy, but on Amazon itself, the audiobook is getting pretty positive reviews. However, I looked at other Buffy forums, and I forget if this is Facebook or Reddit. There, people are much more brutal. They're not saying it's bad, but they're not really endorsing it either. They're saying it's fairly weak, and the storytelling is just not on par, even with season 7. So Amber is behind this with another co-writer, and I have seen and read some of her Buffy media. Again, I gotta be honest, it's not terrible, but it's not great either, and this seems more of the same. It just seems okay to maybe above average, but nothing excellent, nothing to get excited about, which is a shame. And one of the major complaints, and I do agree from the sample I heard, is unfortunately Spike doesn't really sound like Spike, which is really shocking, but his accent is very strange. It just does not feel like what he sounded on the show, or Angel, frankly. So that can't be James Marsters because he's insanely talented and he's done work far beyond Buffy and Angel. He's pretty good in all those things, so why is his voice so different? Is this because he's undercover? Maybe that's in the story. He has to sound different. I don't know. Maybe this is their interpretation of Spike. It's very, very strange. It's very, very odd. So Spike sounds a little bit different than he should. And from what I'm getting, the story is kind of weak. Spike is going to help Cordelia go into her alternate reality and take on a big bad. And he's going to be mentoring this young new Slayer. And there we are. And again, the reviews seem fairly mixed. But that said, the Amazon reviews, very excellent, so they would recommend paying for it. I think we're going to have to wait for a little bit more time for more reviews to emerge. There's nothing like the Rotten Tomato system or anything like that as far as I know for audiobooks, so I'm going to have to seek out more reviews. So the early reviews are in, and they're fairly mixed with the audiobook, which is a shame because it would have been nice if we all had a great, excellent, basically season 8, but that appears that's not the case. But we'll have to wait and see. Maybe these early reviews are distortive, and as more of the fandom gets to know it, it'll rise in estimation. But at this point, it's not off to a good start.